lack of sleep is a huge problem in the UK, with 1 in 3 of us suffering with some form of insomnia.
With us now is Linda Nolan, who has suffered with insomnia since her husband sadly passed away 3 years ago. Hello, Linda.
Hi.
Thank you for coming on.
My pleasure.
But this insomnia started a while ago, didn't it, actually? I mean, you were diagnosed with breast cancer in 2006, and at the beginning of your treatment, your sleep was still okay, but it was towards the end of the chemo that you first noticed it.
Yeah, towards the end of the chemo. I think I was coming to the end of the treatment. I think when you're going through it, you have to get on with it and just deal with it. And towards the end, it was kind of like, oh, I can't believe I've been through all of that. And
so your mind starts thinking
absolutely.
about everything and processing.
And they put me on a very mild sleeping tablet at the time because sleep is so important. And then Brian passed away in 2007, September, and of course, sleep was out of the question, you know. I'd go to bed, lie there. You think you're the only person in the world awake at 3 in the morning, you know. And it just seems, the minute the sun comes up, of course, you go into a deep sleep. It's as if to go, it's okay now, everybody's up. I'm all right, I can sleep.
And when you were younger, you say that you never had any problems with sleep. You could sleep standing up.
I used to laugh. Honestly, I could sleep anywhere. You know, I used to get to airports and people go, oh, if we're held up, it's going to be turned. I go, well, I'll be fine on this trip. Yeah. You know.
Well, I know what it's like, because I'm useless at sleeping in, there's a certain temperature. I don't know what the temperature is, but it's actually quite cool. If it goes above that, I can't sleep at all. It has to be a cold room. But of course, that for me is a couple of nights maybe. But when it's for you, for people who really seriously suffer, then this is over and over and over again.
One of my sisters, Denise, she has insomnia.
Yeah.
It's terrible. I never realised how bad it was until I started to suffer with it myself. You're so tired and you kind of sit on the edge of the bed thinking...
Well, the night must become a bit hostile, really. Going to bed must be a hostile feeling.
I lie on the couch till 3 in the morning thinking, well, if I go to bed, I'm just not going to sleep. Whereas I might fall asleep on the couch.
And so how does that affect your daytime life then? Because you just must be exhausted.
Well, you know, Brian had passed away and grief is very tiring anyway, you know, and I had depression and you need all your energy to try and get through the day, and so it became a vicious circle.
You mentioned the medication. How far down that road did you go?
Well, I was dependent on sleeping tablets, whether or not it was psychologically in the fact that if I didn't take one, I'd get into bed and think, I'm not going to sleep. But then, you know, I take one and think, oh, it's okay, I'll be asleep in about 5 minutes. And it
worked. I mean,
it did work. It was the first time I took a sleeping tablet and I woke up at like 7 in the morning and I hadn't woken up through the night, and it was like, wow, it's fabulous, you know.
Well, you actually phoned one of your sisters, didn't you?
The girls, oh,
I've just slept
through the night, and it was like they knew what it meant, you know. And then, you know, then I became dependent on the tablets, which was really scary.
And also, it's a full sleep, isn't it?
It's induced, it's a chemical going into your body that's not right. So I began to get a little bit panicky about it, really. And a friend phoned me then with this mat.
Which I've got here.
You have, indeed.
I've got the mat, which it looks like some sort of torture device.
I know. She told me about it, and she said to me, look, it's, let me send it to you and see what you think. And when I opened it, I thought, she's having a joke, you know.
Well, after we've had a chat here, Dr. Chris is going to show us a whole load of different sort of sleeping gadgets. This is one of them, one that you found very useful. These are actually really rather sharp.
They really
plastic.
are.
Yeah, but when you feel it like that, they are. But when you lie in it, I use it to sleep, to help me sleep. I went to bed early, didn't take a sleeping tablet. 20 minutes I lay on the floor with some nice music, and I got up, my back felt all tingly because it gets your blood flowing and the circulation.
It's like acupuncture
clothes on there.
I just had a little cotton top. You can go on it. I wasn't brave enough to go on it with
you know, like a bed of nails.
Absolutely. But I got into bed, thought nothing more of it. Next morning I was having breakfast and I thought, slept really well last night and I didn't take a tablet. And then it was like, oh, it's got to be the mat. And I've used it 2 or 3 times ever since. I'm down to no tablets.
I mean, it doesn't work for everyone, but
no,
it's
exactly. I'm not a medical person.
I've just put my hand on that. I don't know you can get how close you can get to that.
You can see a little dotty.
You can actually see.
So it's acupuncture points almost.
It's on the acupressure type thing, and as I say, I'm not a medical person, and all I can talk about is what it did for me, and for me, it worked. I'm, you know, no tablet.
You also went to a psychologist as well, though, didn't you?
I still have counselling from a clinical psychologist.
And how much do you think that has helped relieve the pressure and the stress and the grief?
It's, she saved my life, really. I mean, I have a fabulous family, don't get me wrong, and I can phone them at 4 in the morning and they'll be round. But sometimes it's just nice to speak to a stranger who has no preconceived ideas. I was mortified going initially.
Were you?
Thought,
well, we're not very good at it, us British.
No, we're not.
But I would say to anybody don't be frightened. Try it. If it doesn't, I know people who it hasn't worked for, but for me, it's, you know, I'm having counselling on Thursday.
So with insomnia, is it something that you always sort of have to fight or work? Do you know what I mean? To work
I think you have to work. You know, I've spoken about it obviously with my counsellor, and she said it's like trying to get a baby into a sleep pattern. But of course, in our business, there's no such thing as going to bed at the same time every night. But it is things like, you know, not having having decaf drinks in the evening, or a hot milky drink like hot chocolate or something, anything like that. And I have to have the room very cool. I spent a fortune on a thermo pillow that keeps cool. It's amazing, and I've never.
I might get the details of that.
It's fabulous, and I have a fan at the end of the bed because of the chemo brought me straight into the menopause. Right. So I'm dealing with all of those things. Yeah. 2 of my tablets give me hot flushes. So you know, you have to set the scene, as it were. You know, and the thing is, if I do wake up now, I will get out of bed and walk about a little bit, and maybe just lie on the mat a little bit more.
Well, thank you very much for coming.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much.
That's absolutely fascinating. And if you want more information on sleep-related issues, have a look at our website, itv.com/this morning. As we said, Dr. Chris is here after the break. He's got a selection of gadgets and remedies and things to help you sleep. He hasn't quite dozed off yet because he's very busy flashing his light.
I know, that's
torch in bed.
That's going to make you sleep.
Yeah, you'll find out what that is in a minute after the break.
Also coming up, Gina Campo cooks a delicious prawn dish with chilli, butter and garlic sauce. We'll be back in a minute. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Dr. Chris is here with some sleep gadgets in just a moment.
They've worked really well, actually, because he's dozed right off, which is incredible. Because, funnily enough, if you look, he's gone to sleep with his shoes on. Oh,
don't wake him up. Don't wake him up.
All right, wake him up.
It's your chance to win £52,000.
Best of luck before the break. Linda Nolan was talking about her insomnia, and with it was an estimated 80% of people not getting the recommended 8 hours of sleep a night. Dr. Chris is here. We've managed to wake him up now with some gadgets and remedies.
Thanks for joining us.
Oh, you're right. Morning.
Good morning.
So you've got some sleep stats first, haven't you?
Yeah, it's interesting. You spend a third of your life asleep.
I reckon I do more.
Well, maybe, yeah. So minimum a third of your life asleep. And a perfect torture is to put a prisoner through sleep deprivation, because you just crack eventually. Rats will die after 2 weeks of sleep deprivation.
Gosh.
Yeah. 27% of road traffic accidents are due to people losing concentration at the wheel, maybe nodding off. And situations like, the Space Shuttle Challenger, Exxon Valdez and the Chernobyl disaster were all thought to be due to human error in people who were not concentrating due to poor sleep and drowsiness.
Well, we do live in a society where everything's so fast and so quick, and we don't relax that much, and we all work longer hours, so we're quite guilty of it, I think.
I mean, you say that sleep hygiene, you say, is important.
Yes, I mean, this is a way of helping yourself to get a good night's sleep without resorting to medications. And I think we can bring this up on screen, the various tips. First of all, bedtime routine. Go to bed at the same time each night and get up at the same time each morning, even at the weekends. Your brain loves routines, so get into that routine.
It's like a child.
Yes,
it's like a baby.
Very much so, but we don't stick to routines, etc.
Oh, but that's easier said than done as well, isn't it, of course, trying to fit into that sort of routine, especially if you've got children when you get up and you go to sleep.
That's right. Of course, at weekends you want to lie in, but that's, it's a tip you must try and follow. The second item is your bedroom itself. Use the bedroom for sleeping only. No working in the bedroom, no watching television. Make sure your bedroom isn't too hot or too cold or too noisy. Before going to bed, maybe have a hot, relaxing bath as well. The third item, no napping. If you've got a sleep problem at night, don't nap during the day, no matter how tempted you might feel. The next item, avoid caffeine. So that's tea, coffee, cola drinks, and even chocolate contains xanthines, which are similar to caffeine, which may disturb sleep. So when going to bed, basically, what you should be doing is a hot milky drink, Horlicks, Ovaltine, and a favourite of some old ladies' patients of mine was when they go to bed they have a hot milky drink and a wholemeal sandwich with lettuce in it.
Why?
And they swear by it. The milk actually contains tryptophan, which can help you to sleep, but apparently they swear by the lettuce and the whole grain bread.
Oh, anything's worth a try, isn't it?
Amazing.
I can see the crumbs in the bed to keep me awake. You've got some other bits and pieces for us here. That you were playing with a light sleeper earlier on. What's that?
Yeah. No, this light sleeper, right, is
like an
it was designed by an insomniac student, right, and what it does, it shines a light onto the bedroom ceiling when you're lying there, and it rotates and circles slowly. And as you watch this, over time, you become relaxed and you go off to sleep.
Really?
This is what this is. We recorded this earlier on.
Can we have a
This is
look?
what it looks like. This is what it does. There's your light, like a little spotlight.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, you're just focusing on that. You're being distracted from, you know, other things.
And also, it probably clears your mind slightly, doesn't it? Because I think that's the worst thing. Whenever you've got something on your mind, like whether you're selling your house, or you've got something coming up, or a job interview, you reprocess the whole day
Really?
and everything, and that's when I can't sleep.
Yeah, that's right.
If that shone on me in the middle of the night, I'd wake up and think I was back on the telly.
You'd do a link.
I would.
Coming up.
Yeah, after the break.
If it was a red light, you'd be in more trouble because you'd think it was your cue
Well,
light.
any red light sign, I just keep talking. I won't stop till it goes out.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, Dreammate wristband. Oh,
Yeah.
we should say the light sleeper is £125. It's quite pricey, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not cheap.
No.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Dreammate wristband.
Yeah, no, this is it. It's a wristband which you wear on your wrist, and it stimulates 3 acupuncture points, apparently called the golden triangle, and this induces relaxation and sleep.
Oh.
Now, that's all I can say about it,
Yeah.
you know.
Have a look.
Yes, certainly. I mean, it's actually not switched on, but when you switch it on, you do feel a sensation of it vibrating against the wrist.
Oh, that'll keep me awake.
Well, they say it does induce relaxation and sleep. So, you know.
Fascinating.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's what, £39. And of course, then you come to the herbs. Yeah, this is night herb, which contains valerian. You've got other ones contain hops, passion flower, chamomile, and these herbal remedies are very popular with the public, and these can be bought over the counter.
You have to be careful if you're taking anything else.
Yes. I mean, I think you talk to the pharmacist. They will guide you on whether you can or can't use these.
Are those addictive?
No.
Okay, so that's fine.
No.
You don't. You won't become reliant on them.
No.
Okay.
Right, and the cramp in the legs at night, a very common cause of people getting disturbed sleep. Cramp bags have been around for a long time. It contain calcium and nicotinic acid, which improves circulation, help people. Your GP can prescribe something for cramp called quinine bisulfate, which you take at bedtime. But a new one, Circadin, this is a prescription-only medicine. It's not a drug. It doesn't dope you into a sleep. It's a natural hormone, melatonin. And as you get older, your brain doesn't produce enough melatonin, and insomnia is quite common in the over 55s. And this is intended for people over 55, 1 tablet a night for 3 weeks to 3 months. Stop it, and no rebound insomnia, no withdrawal
Wow,
symptoms.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
And do they work for things like restless leg syndrome as well? I get that, drives me. I've always had it since I was young.
What does that do?
Well, we call it the eagles in the family, and your legs just go, just like they're iggly legs.
Oh,
if you're
no.
bored in a very bad film.
Is that like when you're shaped like that little?
You know, just on a
yeah.
plane for hours and hours and hours. If you get at night time, it drives you crazy.
Yeah. 1 in 7 people suffer from restless legs. Let me mention 2 prescription products you can get from your GP for restless legs. One's called Mirapaxin, and the other one's called Adartrel. Now, I'll put that on the website after the show so people can get the name and discuss it with the doctor.
Brilliant. Thank you,
Very
Chris. Thank you very much
good.
indeed.
Thank you.
Terrific.
Oh,
We're back to sleep now.
Back to sleep.
Tuck him in, will you?
Right, so let's go over to the hub to see if you've got any other sleep suggestions. Colleen?
Oh, loads of sleep suggestions coming in. Maggie texted in and said, wear a pair of bed socks. You can get to sleep easy then. Don't know what that means. Sarah from Boston texted in, after 2 small glasses of cherry juice in the evening, I sleep so much better. I fall asleep quicker and deeper. And good-looking Bob from Edinburgh has texted in, best way to get to sleep is drink 4 bottles of wine, 3 crates of beer and eat a sausage supper. I'm sure he's not that good-looking. Aaron on Facebook, according to Feng Shui, sleep with your head pointing west for a fantastic night's sleep. And lastly, Kelly on Twitter, I have trouble nodding off, so I play a word search. That helps me get tired quickly and drift off. And that's Kelly from Hampshire, so loads more coming in. One more actually, Trudy on Twitter, I love to snuggle in my duvet and make myself dream. I'm always keen to fall asleep for my Robbie Williams dream. Oh, mine's Phillip,
see.
actually.
Bless your heart. See, everybody's got something.
Oh, they have,
yeah.
We could go on for hours with sleep cures.